Let's start with the swim. It is going to be the first World Championship where it's going to be a wetsuit swim. I think that's what everybody waited for. And Orca, just in time for the race, renewed the wetsuit line. I'm going to use the Apex Flow Orca. It's pretty similar than the old Predator was. It's basically a best of the best stuff from Yamamoto that you can get. One of the things I really love is the super thin material on the arms. Especially for me, it's really crucial to have the best takeout speed, and usually my arms are just exploding, and that definitely helps a lot. And then it's Cell 44 on all areas that need to be very stretchy. And then it's Airdone 2 on the front and the back of the legs, which is really nice. It gives you a lot of lift. I really love the new liner, which is even more flexible. That's really important because a lot of people think it's always about the neoprene, but it's also about the liner that's inside. Often that's the limit of the flexibility of a wetsuit. What's also really nice and what separates Orca from a lot of other brands is that they're using a neoprene coating or just neoprene on the inside, so no textile liner on the legs, especially on Ironman swim distance, where you spend at least 40 plus minutes in the water. Often the wetsuit loses some of its buoyancy because it soaks itself up with the water because of the liner, and this neoprene just stops the liner from absorbing more water, so therefore you just have a constant buoyancy over a long time. I'm using the Predator goggles as well. This is really important, especially on this swim. Not decided yet if I'm gonna use the full mirror lens or the normal lens, because it's pretty dark, I think, at the start, and then you swim directly into the sunlight, which can be really crazy. You almost see nothing. Then we're gonna hop on to the bike, and I've already had this race kit underneath. I've been working with Orca for more than 10 years, and this suit is one of the results of my partnership with them. I think it's still the fastest suit out there. What I love about it is very easy to put on in T2, and it doesn't limit you when you swim because it's easy to put down and to put on without destroying the zipper. The seams are bonded on the inside, and we have this really fast material on the back of the suit. It's like a golf ball that creates light turbulences, makes the suit really fast. Then there's also some silicone on the inside of the pad that prevents you from slipping on the saddle. I really love it, and it's called Dream Kona, so now it's Dream St. George, Dream Utah suit. Scott Plasma 6, my machine for the Ironman World Championships in St. George, Utah. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna ride the disc wheel under any circumstances, but it is pretty crazy sometimes with the gusts and really fast downhill, so you want to stay in the aero bars under any circumstances. This is the most important thing. So if the handling gets too sketchy with the disc wheel, it's probably better to skip the disc wheel, but stay in the aero bars. Most important changes to what I normally would run is the 2x setup in front, 56 chainring and 42. Usually I use 1x setup, and I would have also gone to 1x setup here on the course. It saves some weight and is definitely a little bit better from the aerodynamics. And also the argument that a lot of people have that you're gonna cross the chain a lot. When you see some of the Pro Tour guys going up the climbs on the big ring, and then they go on the far left at the back, that's really crossing the chain. I think even the Pro Tour guys should consider riding more 1x setups in the normal races. Here though, there's some steep hills and some really fast sections where you still have to pedal. So therefore you need a wider range of gears, and obviously it's also nice to have the narrow gaps in the back. So that would be a downside of running a 1x with something like a 56 on the front. That would be pretty tough on some of the climbs. I think it's a real advantage to be on the SRAM AXS ETAP, which provides you with a 10 cook on the back, which will allow you to still pedal with, I don't know, comfortably 100 RPM at 75 k's an hour, which is pretty cool. A lot of people think, okay, with this super narrow bend the chain has to make on a 10, this is not very efficient. But you know what's not efficient is to be not able to pedal anymore at that speed, because I'm just gonna pedal away from the other guys. Yeah, other than that, the Scott handles really well, especially on a course like that, because of the disc brakes. They are probably not necessary for a lot of people, but the disc brakes come with through axle and therefore a lot more stiffness. And you also have to build the fork a little bit beefier. So therefore it's a lot of stiffness in the front end, which is really important on a course like this, where you have to stay in the aero bars with more than 70 km an hour. Great is the total integration of everything with the bottle here. That's really nice, because no excuses of losing any bottles. I have a second one here that I can take a normal bottle at the aid stations, but I can also just put some more fluid in the tank and the frame. And then I have a little bit of a custom-made cockpit. This is definitely something special on this bike. One important thing is you have a friend with a 3D printer. That's really cool. Please don't let him print a bar for you. I've seen a lot of really dangerous shit in the last couple of months and also the last year. This is dangerous. I think the whole bar setup minus the engineering is something like 20,000 bucks. So if you can buy a 3D printed bar for 1,500 bucks, that's really cool. But I wouldn't trust my life for it. So therefore, be careful with any crazy aftermarket solutions that are out there. I think the stock solution is pretty nice and leaves you plenty of adjustability, which is probably more important than some nice sleek looks. Yes, obviously, I've tried to get this thing as light as possible, which is not easy, of course. Modern aero bikes are very aero, but not super light. So therefore, I had to skip a couple of desserts, I guess. But yeah, there's still a couple of tweaks that you can do. Changing all the screws to titanium and so on. Putting the extra light Speedplay pedals on. More important are the tires. Schwalbe Pro 1 TT tubeless. Tubeless is definitely the way to go, in my opinion. First of all, you can ride with the tires more comfortable, because you can ride it with a little bit lower pressure without the danger of a pinch flat, especially on a course like this where you have stretches with really bumpy asphalt. And then obviously you can go a little bit more towards the limit with the same puncture resistance than with the tube, because with modern sealants they're so good that you can usually get away with something that punctures the tire. The sealant worked for me at least 2 times now in a race. You might lose some air, yes, but you will definitely be able to finish the race. In Frankfurt 2019, I think I got a flat after not 100k or so. And I was riding with 2.5 bars, and the tire was still working absolutely fine. So there you got it. Saved my day, and therefore I'm thinking about taking the risk of putting this away and not taking any spare stuff at all. No CO2, no nothing. Just saves another maybe 250 grams, which on this course is quite nice. Just got the bike back from the guys from SRAM, and they've done an amazing job. It's always amazing when you hit the road and the bike is in full race setup and you realize how much faster it goes than, you know, like on a normal, let's say, training setup. Yes, I love it. I always love to have the bike in this condition and knowing that it's absolutely fast and knowing how fast it is. And you guys know that I've had a lot of fast bikes, and I think this is definitely the fastest bike I've ever had for a World Championship. The helmet. A lot of people think it's a quite interesting looking helmet because of this strange thing at the front. I'm gonna put it on just so that you see it. Why I put it on, it's also really nice that Scott has this super nice magnet, which is really easy to use in T1. So you don't have to somehow find it, it's just like click and it's in. So that's it. Just, yeah. That's really nice. And then there's also another nice thing. You have these ports here. So usually when I put the helmet in T1, my glasses are in these ports, and then put the helmet on and I can start right away. And during I ride, I then take the glasses out of the port and put them on. Yeah, yeah. I think that's, when I first saw them, I was like, no, this I can't wear this. But actually, I've seen a couple of pictures now with them on, and I think they look fantastic on the bike. I mean, it just matches the spaceship, and so yeah. Those are the ones, the Oakleys for the bike. What do you say? Like, can you see yourself? Yeah. Yeah, I was talking about this little thing here. So when you be in the perfect aero position, it actually creates a turbulence and puts basically a layer of air in front of your face, which makes the helm really, really aerodynamic. And then it has this slight opening on the back, which creates a Venturi effect. Google that, then you know it. Soaks out the air from the back, so that the ventilation is still really good. On the run, let's talk about fuel first. I totally forgot about that. I'm taking up like 100 grams of carbs an hour on the bike, probably 100 plus. Most of it from Power Bar gels. I always mix just the original ones and the fruit ones because it tastes good, and I'm just used to it. And then it's Power by Isomax in the bottles usually. It's quite nice because it has some coffee in, and for me it's go taste. I'm just used to have this taste when it's go time, so therefore I love it. Bike shoes, we forgot about talking about the bike shoes. This is also a super nice thing from Scott. They worked with me pretty close together to develop a bike shoe. This is not only really easy to use in transition area, but that's also super aerodynamic. So it's really, in my opinion, it's really easy to put on because you can slip in very easy. There's nothing that can get folded or something like that. It fits like a glove. You can tighten it really, really good, which is often a compromise. And then it has the BOA dial on the back, which makes it just really, really sleek and super aerodynamic on the bike. So there's nothing that interrupts airflow. And aerodynamic of shoes actually matters. And especially for those wearing Bond shoes, I can tell you, unfortunately, this one is faster. And there's also a reason. When you look at it from the front, it's really narrow. The Bond has a really huge cover. And so therefore, at least for us, it was faster. I mean, you will always find a wind tunnel test where your product performs best. Onto the run, I guess. On the run, I have not decided yet if I'm gonna use these or these. It's just a different in color, unless there will be some brand new ones, but can talk about this. Fuel Cell Elite, RC Elite, and I absolutely love this shoe. I think it's one of the reasons I've been running so well without a lot of miles on it. It's really light, it's so reactive, and I can just recommend, try it. Everybody who I know who tried it absolutely loved it and preferred it over a lot of other shoes out there. Gonna use the InSilence ultralight socks. Yes, socks matter a lot actually, because they soak up water, they get heavier, but you definitely want to have some nice socks, because blisters is the worst thing that can happen to you on a marathon. If you have to run 25K with blisters, it's a nightmare. You want to hurt for the right reasons, not because of blisters. Other than that, I'm probably gonna use a fuel belt style on the run. I don't know yet if it's allowed to check in a fuel belt on the special needs Pro Flute station. That's the right name. Just because it's gonna be very warm at the end of the race, I guess. And so therefore you want to hydrate and you want to take in the calories. On the run, I take the Power Bar liquid gels just because it's very easy to take. You don't need water. It still gives you the necessary carbohydrates to finish strong, hopefully. I'm gonna change my glasses from cycling to running to these nice ones probably, unless Greg Walsh suggests anything else. Greg, what do you say? No, I really like these. The thing is just, when you come from the bike, you often just want to have a fresh pair just for clear vision, see where you're going. Yeah, and I think they look really good with the helmet on. Without the helmet, I think you can wear it if you Mahomes. Then you can wear it probably. Not when you're Sebastian Kienle.